Hi there, and welcome to the old forest cave, as I like to call it, out here in my local woods. My name is Bjorn, and I'm a historical novelist, and I live here in Norway. I'm going to do something new now, try something new, or rather do something that I used to do a lot about a year ago and before that. As you can see, I am in my normal non-Viking clothes, and I'm going to just try some more unedited videos, and I'll talk about whatever is on my mind, basically. And I want to call these midweek videos because these are going to be somewhere in the middle of the week, and they will not be replacing the Viking videos that I upload every Saturday. So I'll call these videos my midweek musings. And the first thing I want to talk about is, well, the Epstein files. But I will not get into details. I have a somewhat different angle than the obvious angle that, you know, the horrors and those things I don't even want to talk about because it's just so horrible and heartbreaking. But my angle is this: he was just one out of probably several such people operating in the world today. As I speak, things like that is ongoing. At least that's what I think. And I mentioned that in a live stream on a different channel. I was just commenting in the chat, and I wrote that this kind of thing with little girls is something that is seen quite often as part of the culture in actually many countries in the world today. North Africa, the Arab countries, I know also Nepal and some other countries, they practice, you know, the child marriage. They marry off their daughters when they're still little girls. I got immediate pushback, of course, from some of the other people in the chat there, and I think they were kind of, dare I say, leftist, white man bad and all of that. But it got me thinking, because now that we understand that there are monsters out there, and the rich and powerful, they have organized things in such a manner, they have rigged the whole system against you and against me and against good, decent people. When we understand that, and when we understand and realize that there are probably several other such people like Epstein operating and doing these horrible things, and there is a market for that. When we understand these things, it should make us do something about it. And then the question is, what can we do? We are powerless. We call them the elites. I call them the parasites, by the way. But what can you do? What can you do? Well, obviously you can stop voting for those politicians ever again. Don't watch movies featuring actors who are in the Epstein files. Don't download or listen to the music of these artists and so on and so on. We can do that, but there is also something else that we need to do. We need to be brave, and we need to call this out wherever we see it. Now, in that chat, obviously they had the mindset that the white, you know, straight white male and all that, that's bad. But if you say something wrong about Muslims, you're oh no, you can't do that because they are the good guys, and that kind of naive worldview that some people have, and it can come from the other side of the political spectrum as well. We must throw all of that away, and we must be able to pinpoint what is wrong and what is right. And I don't care about your political affiliation, I don't care about your religion, if you're a Christian or Muslim or a Norse pagan, I don't care. We must be able to call out the people who are doing wrong. We must be able to do that every single time. And I think that it's so obvious when we look at the world. You know, this is ingrained in the system. These, in this case, you know, taking advantage of children. That's evil. It's ingrained in the system. We already knew this. It's ingrained in the system in several Muslim countries. Now we understand that it's actually been ingrained in our system as well, here in the Western Hemisphere, among the rich and powerful. And it's something that we don't want to think about. We want this just to go away. And by the way, do not go down the rabbit hole trying to find real videos, real photos of these victims and what they did to them. Don't do that. I did. It will give you nightmares. So this is the time to be brave. This is the time to, you know, draw that line in the sand. And I guess call these people out. And you shouldn't care about the possible consequences for you. You shouldn't care about any of that. And, you know, you could say that it was easy for you to say that during COVID because you don't have a job. I'm an author. So it's like, it's more difficult if you risk being fired. I get that. But still, we must be brave and we must call out this evil wherever and whenever we see it. I think I said I'll try to do this unedited, but now I've been moving the camera around quite a bit. So it's just a habit. It's just a habit. What do you think? Well, I'm not asking about the obvious here, you know, but do you think that people, and the obvious would be, should we do something about this? Of course we should and we must. Every single of those victims, they were someone's daughter. In some cases, I understand, someone's son. What should we do, you know? What can we do? I think we can do quite a lot. And we start by being brave. And by brave, I mean call these people out on social media. Talk about this. Yeah, even the campfire agrees. Talk about this. Never forget and never stop talking about this. Because people have this tendency, you know, to forget when the next big thing happens. A pandemic, a war, whatever. But this we must never forget. And we must be honest. We must be honest about this. We must point our finger at the places where this is happening as we speak. There are actual slave markets in, I believe, North Africa. Actual slave markets. This needs to stop. And we must fight that battle. So this is, I'm sorry if I seem frustrated here, but I guess I was so disappointed by the reality. I guess people out there, they will care more about their political affiliation than actually pointing out what's actually going on. And as I said, I don't care if the people doing this are Christians, Muslim, atheists, or whatever. They're all devils in the way I see it. And I'm not a Christian, by the way. You get what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, that's what I think. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, and please consider leaving a comment. That would be awesome. I want to hear what you think about this, and also let me know if you appreciate this format. Just some guy out in the woods talking to the camera. I will be back on Saturday with a Viking video, of course. So until then, have a wonderful day, and stay brave.